Since I'm shadow banned and not that many people will see this, let's do a 2024 recap. I don't really like talking on social media. We know this, we've been through this, but I'm going to make this video. Starting in January, I created my signature collection. It was all these gorgeous necklaces and I was super excited about it. That is also whenever I joined TikTok Shop, so shout outs to me, period. And in January, we cleared with $15,000 in sales and 201 orders. Now, that's what I'm talking about. From the looks of the pictures, I hung out with friends 3 times and I went on 1 date. He turned out to be a cokehead, and that's that. Moving on to February, I introduced a lot of new pieces to my website for like custom items. Had my Valentine's Day sale, yada yada. And we cleared February with $17,000 and 191 orders. Hung out with my friends, by the looks of it, like I said, a total of 3 times again that month, and went on 1 date again. It was with a different guy, and honestly, I just didn't see him again because the vibe wasn't there. And also in February was my son's birthday. And last year we went to Universal Studios. It was so fun, so cute. In March, I was invited to the TikTok creator little event they had in LA. That was a good time. Got to meet some of my mutuals again and also meet some new people. So I had a good time. And yeah, it was a pretty average month as far as like promoting things. I don't really think I added anything new in March. So we ended the month with $17,000 and 194 orders. So that was another good month. Also in March, my stepmom retired, so I came to Texas. I just looked through my photos again. I don't see any pictures or videos with me hanging out with my friends, so maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, but there's no proof. So we're gonna say 0 times in the month of March, and I went on 0 dates. In April, I started trying to take my TikTok shop more seriously, so I launched these bubble initial letters and a few other pieces, and I was at Dreamville Festival. So my cute little idea to promote while I was at the festival was to get these little business cards made. That way I could hand them out while I was at the festival and still get a little cha-ching, cha-ching. So yeah, that's what I did. So I got to hang out with my bestie 1 time when I was at Dreamville because she lives in a different state. So that was the only 1 time I hung out with friends from what I can see in my camera roll. And from the looks of it, I went on 0 dates. And I do always take pictures of the guys I go on dates with because, you know, I need the group chat to see. But yeah, so 0 dates in April. And we were able to clear April with $13,000 in sales and 166 orders. May was my birthday month. I made this custom piece that I was actually obsessed with, and I still am till this day. Like, it looks so good. I did that, period. But it was a slower month, so I only made $9,200 and 116 orders. From the looks of it, I hung out with my friends a total of 4 times. I turned 30. I had an amazing birthday. So yeah, I think May was a good month. And then the June gloom hit me. I don't know what happened this year, but it absolutely could never happen again in 2025. Honestly, I hate to say it, but I think it's because I got shadow banned, which has kind of been a half a year thing for me. Don't know why. I post consistently every single day. I think my content is quality. I take my time whenever I'm editing. I do the trends. Like, it's honestly not my fault. It's a TikTok problem. Though I cross promote on different platforms like Instagram, YouTube, etc. TikTok is by far where I make the most money. I don't even want to show this, but I made $3,700 and only had 60 orders. This was the direct cause of what's about to happen next. I don't know if you guys know, but I lived in LA for like the past 4 years. And if you know anything about LA rent, it's expensive as fuck. Okay, so for my 2-bedroom apartment, I was paying $3,000 a month, no utilities included. Now with any given month, all the sales and revenue that you guys are seeing, you can about like, let's be generous and half it. And that's usually what I spend on inventory alone and like supplies, boxes, shipping, things like that. So if I'm only getting half of that $3,700, I no longer have enough to pay my rent. Picking up what I'm putting down, yeah. Needless to say, mentally, I was not well in June, so I looked at my camera roll and I hung out with my friends a total of 8 times that month, which is more than usual. I forgot to mention that I had bought a ticket to the Meg Thee Stallion tour as well back in March, so I ended up still going to that because, well, I want to see Meg. And I needed a little pick-me-up, even though a part of me wanted to sell my ticket, but I was like, nah. Also went on 1 date in June, and yeah, July rolls around and I'm completely a mess because, well, I don't know how I'm about to pay my rent, and that's a big problem. And it's also a problem that I've never experienced. I know I'm very blessed to be able to say that, but I just had never experienced that before. So people were telling me to start a GoFundMe. And by people, I mean like people who were close to me, friends and things like that. And they were telling me to just be honest. So I made some TikToks explaining the situation that I was in. And yeah. And you know, they say whenever it rains, it pours. So in July, on top of the financial things I was going through, I also ended up ending a few of my friendships. It was a big thing and it sucked. I was a complete mess. And I ended up shutting down my business because I just didn't know what else to do. Because it was either I pay my rent or I get inventory so I can fulfill the orders that I already had. Rather than taking on new orders, I just shut my business down so that nobody could place orders anymore. And I tried to play catch up slowly but surely. Of course, some people wanted refunds. I was getting chargebacks, all types of shit. Like, it was such a bad month. And in July, I made negative $714 and only got one order. It was the Great Depression. After crying all July, August rolls around and I decided to chop all my hair off because you know when you're going through things, you always got to do something with your hair. So I cut mine off. And I was determined to get Koya Collection back up and running. And the way that I thought to do that was to start a whole new website. I had to leave my previous one open still just so I can cover those debts that I was in because I was in the whole 714. But I did start a new website and that's KK Jewelry. Introduced some new pieces and just started taking things really, really serious so that we could recover from what we had just been through. You know, I really love doing what I do because I fought for my business this year so freaking hard. I'm still fighting for it, but it's nowhere near earlier this year. So in August, we slowly started making a comeback with $1,400 in sales and 23 orders. And on my new website, I made a total of $4,800 in August. We were slowly coming back. I went on 3 dates in August. Little mama was feeling herself. With one guy, I went on 2 dates, and then the other guy I only saw once. He was mad weird. And the guy I went on 2 dates with, he was an influencer. It just didn't work. I'm gonna leave it as that. So by September, I'm only taking orders on my new website. I launched some new items on my TikTok shop. My classy gold initial necklace, I love that piece. I'm wearing it right now. I'm slowly but surely catching up on my orders from my previous website and things are looking up. September was actually really decent. After everything I went through, $8,300 made my whole life and I closed it out with 93 orders. This is also around the time where one of my friends decided to move in with me. They were in between leases, so it worked out perfect. That took off half the burden of my rent. And I also made the big girl decision to move to a cheaper state, which is where I'm at now in Texas. But my lease did not end until December. Also in September, I got to celebrate my 6-year anniversary of running my jewelry business. There's been a lot of ups and downs, so I was just happy to see year 6. I hung out with friends a total of 5 times that month, and I told myself I was going to stop dating and that I was fine being alone forever. But let's move on to October. I introduced some new custom pieces to my website in October. I started prepping for my advent calendars too. And in October, we cleared with $7,000 in 84 orders. Also in October, I accidentally met the love of my life and I got asked to be a girlfriend. No, it was crazy. So I was booed up for majority of October. Took me to Vegas for our third date. So a lot of great memories in October. In November, I launched some more new items. On my TikTok shop, I launched my CZ initial ring, my bracelet set, lots of stuff. On top of that, my advent calendars launched. I had my Black Friday sale, like November was lit. And so we cleared that month with $12,000 in sales and 131 orders. And I'm not gonna cry because I already have, but I just wanna say like, I'm so thankful to be where I am, for all of my customers and my supporters for believing in me. You literally saved my life. I'm not gonna cry again. So in November, I hung out with my friends twice, and me and my hubby went on a total of 5 dates. December has been a little slower, but my TikTok shop orders are picking up, but kind of balances out. The month of December, we're clearing at 7,900 with 94 orders. I also moved to Texas this month. I had a great Christmas, and me and my man are doing good. So I'm happy. And I'm ready for 2025. She's gonna be a good year for me, for us. And I just wanna say, if you really watch this whole video, I love you. Mwah.